What's poppin'? It's Mello back at you with another video, and by request, today what we're gonna be doing is making a full beat out of loops. Yes, I'm gonna show you how to make full beats out of loops, how to arrange them, how to sauce it up and all that good stuff, so you can get a full beat out of a loop. And to do that today, we're gonna be working with the Mello Dee app, so shout out to them for sponsoring the video. And as far as what the app does, it plays you a lot of random loops and you get to select which ones you like and which ones you don't. And after you find something you like, you send it to your email from your phone, and then boom, you're in the DAW cooking. So I got it on the phone right now. Let's go through some loops. I'm gonna show you the guide real quick. It says swipe left to skip, swipe up to send, swipe right to save, swipe down for more info. One thing about it, they do have a filter to where you can actually filter out what you want and what you're trying to, listen to as far as vibes. This is everything I have selected, and you could even filter it by creators. You can see the creators. So I'm gonna just say no, not the vibe. This is a good vibe right here. Hey man, I like a sample with some bounce. If the rhythm is in there, I'm rocking with it. Now, one thing you can do, you can click the tab and go to save melodies. And now I have all these melodies that I saved. So I'm gonna select that, boom. This one is crazy. So with that, I click send melodies, then via email, boom. They've been sent, I can download them. So we're gonna get into the DAW. Be sure to click the link, be sure to check it out. There's a link in the description and you can find it on the App Store. So we got this loop here. So to break down, we got 16 bars of this. But then we took the B part and looped it. So that's about 24 bars, 12 bars, single time, standard verse. So what we're gonna be doing, we're going to do the variation on this part here. And that's what I plan on doing with all of them. So the first form of variation that we're gonna go over is repitching. So with repitching, you have two options. The first option is gonna be to pitch it down. We're gonna go to make unique for just one of these. We're gonna duplicate that right there, double click it, and we're gonna drag the pitch down 1200 cents. Now, the one thing I want you to know with both of these, I have the Fruity Parametric EQ taking out the lows. The other option you could use is halftime or gross beat. We have here is 2 times down. That's when it puts the pitch way down. But we also have it in 1/4 mode. So that's still, you're still gonna keep some of the rhythmic content. To automate this, we're gonna go to create automation clip. We're gonna right click some points in. We're gonna do the same thing with the parametric EQ, same style of envelope. Now, this is one thing you may want to do with the parametric EQ when you do something like this. Being that you're taking away some of the harmonic content, the volume is going to be lower. So you may want to boost this a little bit and look at the volume before and after. So as far as pitch, that's one way to get the variation going. Now, the second way to go about this is chopping. Now, with chopping, there are a bunch of ways. You could use Fruity Slicer, you could use Gross Beat, and a bunch of other plugins and things like that, but we're gonna use a playlist right now. Now, what you're gonna do, we'll erase this, and you are going to make unique as far as this one. Now, what you're gonna do is a new feature in FL. I mentioned it in my sampling video, but when you go to the chop feature after you click this up here, there's gonna be a bunch of different options. This right here takes out the guesswork. This takes out you having to reshape it and all that stuff. They got a bunch of different settings that you can try. We're gonna try a few, and I'm just gonna show you a few. One of my favorites is Hitmaker. Let's listen to that. Fire. Let's go to marching, and let's go to 1/8 loop. Now the last one we'll try is on complex, stutter 1. Let's listen to that. Insane, insane. So whenever you got the chop that you want, all you do is press Control B, boom, it's gonna copy it. And then you have that chop in there, and you have that whole variation right there. Very dope, and you don't need an extra plug-in to do it. So that's chopping. So the next option we're gonna go through is FX automation. And I wanna go over some things as far as multi-effects plugins. And the goal of this is to kind of get a texture or a different sound from the sample completely. So we're gonna go through a few that I have. The first one I have is a Guitar Rig Bubbly Rhythm preset. And that gives it a whole different texture, whole different sound. But you see for this one, it's very powerful. So I put the mix level to about 42 in the automation. Now Valhalla Supermassive is free, and I use the swirling quarters preset. So let's listen to that. That's smooth. And the last one is also free. I use the Fruity Convolver IMP cabinet Model B. That's basically imitating a guitar amp. Let's listen to that. So you want to use effects like that I showed you. So we got another beat. Let's listen to it. So now let's get into the next option, which would be using a filter or automating a filter. So let's listen to this automation I set up. Now we automated two things. Let's zoom in. The frequency as far as the frequency cutoff, and then we automated the complete filter as far as the mix level. So I've shown you already how to do the mix level and stuff like that for a lot of these earlier in the tutorial. I'm going to show you how to do this gate right here as far as the filter gate. So what you want to do, we're using Fruity Filter. What you want to do is go and click Create Automation Clip. Boom. It creates an automation clip. Now this we can limit to this one part, so we can bring it over here. We're going to put 2 points. We're going to zoom in. We want to cut right there. Boom. Go back to the pencil, erase. Now from there, with these points that I made, we can duck the filter as far as the cutoff frequency. Actually, I want to do it per beat. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to drag it in. We have it on the end of that beat right there. Let's drag this in too. So what we're going to do is play with these two. You select it, Control B, Control B, Control B, Control B. And now we got the whole automation. Now this is the thing. When we zoom in and just work on this one, let's listen to what we got. That's very dope right now. But if we look at this, if you see anything I tweak on this one, it's going to tweak on all of them. So and you can figure out what shape you want. You've seen the shapes that I made, but that's a good way to automate it. Now, another way to go about it, they have filter automation plugins. Filter Freak is one of them. So that's a very good option. There are a bunch of things to do that. One thing you could do is use the Fruity Parametric EQ to isolate the mids. All you do is go to presets, go to one of these, and then drag them around the mids and create an automation clip. So let's listen to it right now. Now, another option you could do is a low pass frequency sweeper, which I'm gonna duck this a lot lower. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is something you've seen a lot in the Chief Keef Wiz Khalifa era. And all you do is play with the cutoff frequency with this type of shape, but let's listen to it. Now you might want to have some type of transition in there, but that's dope. Now this is the next option we have, which is gating. And I'm going to show you how to gate very quickly. Now, if you have something like Gross Beat, you could just use one of these presets. We'll listen to it very quickly. Now you might not like the sound of that, but I'm going to show you how to freak it a little bit. Now, before we get to that, let's say you don't have Gross Beat. What you can do is go and select the sample. After you make unique, go to chop, go to time base, chop in beats, chop in bars, whatever you want to do. So we could chop it in beats and then just erase the beats that we don't want. So for this example, we're going to stick with Gross Beat. Now to fill up that space, you could do two things, either reverb or delay. I'm going to do both. Now, if you want to get fancy with it, you could use something like Valhalla Supermassive, which is a crazy delay and reverb plugin that you could get for free. So you get something crazy, but let's just do reverb, and we don't even got to go crazy. We'll do the Lux Verb, which is a stock plugin in FL Studio if you're not hip. Now, this is the thing. If you use a reverb, this is my advice. Make sure you cut up the low frequencies to somewhere around 200 hertz so you're not reverbing any of the low frequencies. So what I went with was the Lux Verb and Supermassive, and I made automation clips for both. Let's listen to them. Now let's listen to this last beat over this last loop. All right, now as far as this beat, it sounds good, but as far as the loop, I would consider it more of a starter. But what you can do is add to the sample as far as some composition stuff. And we're not gonna make this complicated because the melody is already there. You don't really have to add a counter melody or anything like that. It has grace notes in there and everything. So let's listen to what I have, and I'm gonna break it down real simple. So this is what it is. It's 3 elements, and I'm gonna give you the science. So one is an accent, one is a bell, one is a set of keys. Now, what is the secret to making this all work? Well, this accent is chord bass, and the key that this sample is in is C minor. The accent being that it's chord bass is tuned to C minor. So all I gotta do is lay it down. It's gonna be in key, it's gonna sound on point. This bell is tuned to C. What did I do? I just played it on C. But why did I do that? Because the root note of the scale is C minor. It's that easy. Now, this right here plays 2 notes. What's the secret to that? All we do is play C again, the root, but the other note that you can play, and most likely it's gonna sound good, and you could do this before you go back into the beginning of the loop, use the 5th note in the scale, which is gonna be G for a C minor scale or even a C major scale. So that's all we did. We didn't use a bunch of complex notes, but that's all you need to do. Now we're gonna listen to it going into the verse and just see how much it separates the hook from the verse. It gives you that separation that you need. You hear it. But that's it for today. Be sure to check out the Mello Dee app and be sure to let me know what you want to see next. Other than that, I'll see y'all another day somehow, some way. I'm out.